Oh, cute and wholesome story about foster father and son. Don't worry, this hasn't actually happened in the manhwa yet. Well, it kinda did, but really not. Let me explain from the beginning. This manhwa called Papa Wolf and the Puppy is essentially a story about a mafia member, also known as the Wolf King, who stumbles upon a little kid in the mountains and ends up adopting him. It's really cute and wholesome, with chapters consisting of 4 to 5 pages. The characters are not given any real name and are referred as the Wolf King and the kid nicknamed as Potato. But for simplicity, I'm just going to call him the kid. Like I said, the manhwa beautifully portrays the wholesome dynamics of a foster father and his adopted kid, something we don't often see in manhwas. We see the Wolf King, a very stoic, masculine man, initially clueless about how to even put a blanket on a kid, treating him more like a puppy than a child. But over time, he learns how to care for him. Then he discovers that the kid is actually the son of his enemy, the one who unalived his younger brother and traumatized him deeply. Yet still, the Wolf King chooses to love and adopt the boy just the same. We also follow the kid, clearly traumatized after being kidnapped and abandoned in the forest. He was raised by the wolves until he got lost again and the Wolf King found him. He finds a parental figure, a place of comfort in the Wolf King. By the way, he calls him Mama, so keep that in mind for later. My favorite chapter is the one where they're both in the mountains, the same place the Wolf King originally found the kid. The wolves sniff out the kid's scent and begin howling. And what do you know? The kid howls back. The Wolf King realizes that they're calling for the child and yells, "You're not a wolf," begging him to come back. The kid eventually returns. In the next chapter, we see this moment from the kid's perspective. We learn he thought he was a puppy dog all along because after being left in the forest by his kidnappers, Wolf raised him for a while until he got lost again and the Wolf King found him. He had always known the Wolf King was different, no fur, no claws, no fangs, but he liked him anyway. And now, for the first time, he realizes he's human too. That means he can stay by the Wolf King's side. It's all so good and wholesome until it is not. So, there are some things about the manhwa which I have not mentioned yet, like how the story actually begins with them as animals. The Wolf King is literally a wolf, and the kid a puppy. The story also jumps around in time, so we see snippets of them as adults, both in their animal and human versions. Now, this is where the problem begins. In the adult timeline, it is strongly suggested that the kid, who mind you is still 16, has romantic feelings for the Wolf King. He blushes every time they're physically close or even at the slightest touch, and it ramps up chapter by chapter. This is a major shift because in the beginning, it wasn't like this at all. The author just one day decided to flip the script on us. Like these earlier chapters, they interact just fine. There's no blushing, nothing, even though they're so close to each other, just like a normal father son duo should be. But in the more recent chapters, it's practically confirmed. The kid draws eternally bands on their wrist and dreams about this. That panel from earlier, it was a dream. That's why I said it kind of happened, kind of not. But the point is that now it is just so in your face that he has a crush on his dad. Just saying that feels disgusting. Now, what's keeping most readers hanging on is the fact that it's one sided. Personally, I kept reading because of the side characters. For others, it's because the Wolf King has never shown or hinted that he reciprocates these feelings. And maybe also the fact that everyone keeps saying that the author is originally a PL creator and this is just fan service here and there for their original fan base, and that they intend to keep it as a father and son dynamic. To which I say, first off, I couldn't find any official statement from the author. Their Weibo account is in Chinese, so I couldn't translate everything. But you would think that because this keeps popping up everywhere, someone would have a link to any official statement or anything. But no, I found nothing solid to support this claim. The other thing is, I do not care what the author used to draw. If you're going to create something as pure as found family and parental love, you better stick to it. If not, slap a BL tag on it. because it makes a lot of people uncomfortable. Okay, we did not consent to this when we first started reading it. To make things worse, there are people who actually ship them. Not that it's surprising, people ship Deku and All Might for crying out loud. But the difference is, MH's mangaka is not promoting it. Imagine if he did, even once, it would be treated like a canon. And yet, here is this author leaning into it. Maybe even I could have gotten behind the fan service thing if it was only limited to just official art or something external for the BL fan base, but not in the story itself. And I know a lot was happened in the BLs, but again, this is not one. If I wanted to read a BL, I would just read one. Why would I be here? Then there are those comments like, it's fine because they're actually not blood related.
Stop it. Get some help.
Now, on to the big question, are they gonna end up together? Even though I couldn't find any official statement, I think not. I think the author is trying to keep both sides of the audience satisfied. The Wolf King is used to keep the general audience engaged, since he's never shown mutual feelings, while the kid keeps feeding the OGBL fans with romantic undertones. But if you ask me, is Papa Wolf and the puppy gonna betray us? In my personal and humble opinion, it already has. This is not what we were promised at the beginning. A lot of people like me find it uncomfortable and has already dropped it. I recently picked it up again to see how things were going, and I'll tell you exactly what prompted me to make this video. This is one of the recent chapters, and before I would have thought, oh, that's so cute, he just finds his son so adorable. But now, I can't help but wonder, what is he thinking? Even the earlier wholesome chapters now feel different. I doubt the Wolf King's intentions, and it just ruins everything. Makes me feel like I'm the one who's wrong. Like I'm the disgusting one here for thinking that. It also makes me think that my prediction is wrong. But one day we will wake up for it to be a full on BL. And I am not here to wait and stick around for another Usagi drop.